All right. Hello there, YouTube world. Welcome to this Club Fed channel here. Got a guy today. I'm going to interview Michael from Alabama. He's going to a low in Mississippi. He's supposed to go to a camp, but there's some reasons why, and eventually he will get to the camp. We'll get to all that part. I want to introduce Michael from Alabama. And if you don't want to say your last name, whatever. But he's got a very interesting story, guys. And hopefully it'll help some of you that are going through the same process. So, Michael, and say hello, Michael, and maybe I'll start from the beginning that you were telling me on the phone there.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks Sean for having me today. My name's Michael. I'm from North Alabama. I was a paramedic on an ambulance and had an opiate addiction, and I started taking the fentanyl off the ambulance. That was a crime. That was enough to get me a state charge or county charge, theft narcotics.
I've heard about ambulance drivers that they have a lot of drug addiction problems. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
The movie with Nicolas Cage, The Ambulance Driver. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, definitely.
Is there any truth to that movie?
True. We have, I mean, it's prevalent. It's right there at our fingertips. We don't have to go look for it.
Yeah.
We administer the drug, so it's easy for us to take. But anyway, regardless, I got the state charges, and then I went to a treatment center, inpatient treatment center, to try to better myself. When I come out, the feds were waiting on me a couple of days later and give me fed charges for tampering with the product.
So you get out of treatment recovery, you think, okay, I'm turning my life around, and there's the feds waiting for you. Like, congratulations on your recovery, and here we're here to give you charges.
Yeah, and so the crime was bad enough that I was stealing the narcotic, but I was trying to cover up my crime. So replace it with normal stealing, and that's what I really got in trouble. That's why I'm going to federal prison. Is tampering with consumer products.
Is that what makes it a federal charge?
That's what made it a federal charge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I had to wait 2.5 years for sentencing. A lot of it due to the COVID stuff going on, but it kept getting put off and put off. I pled guilty, and I have to wait for my sentencing. My lawyer recommended I go to a prison camp, and of course he did recommend the RDAP, and I do have that pre-trial report.
Yeah, we talked about that because it's very important. It's in your paperwork. It's in your file. The judge can recommend all day, but when you get to the camp or the prison, they're all, well, we own you now. So
right. So hopefully I'll get to do the RDAP, because I did have that all included in my pre-sentence report.
You should be fine. You should be fine then.
I did find out, like I was talking to you earlier, I'm going to a low instead of a camp, because you had informed me it's because I still have those state charges.
We got a technical. Yeah, so we had a detainer, guys. So you were talking about, since you didn't know that a detainer can stop you from going to a low, or an open case somewhere.
Right back.
Well, that's correct. That's correct. I've been emailing my lawyer, trying it's two separate lawyers, one for state charges and one for federal charges. I've been emailing my lawyer for the state charges, try to please hurry up and get this cleared up so that I can go to camp instead of going to the low.
Yeah. So you got below 11 points, and you're qualified for a camp, but right. Since there's no fence in the camp and you got a case somewhere, they don't know what's going to happen with any other case. So we're putting you behind a fence because we don't,
yes.
But once you get that resolved, they'll transfer you pretty fast. When it comes to that, when they'll move, I've seen it happen to other guys when I did time with, and they got it fixed on the outside. It's not always easy. At least you can start it now, because some people don't find out until they get to the low that, oh, I do have a case. I have nobody to help me. I'm done with my lawyer. I don't have anybody to call. My 80-year-old mother doesn't know how to, fix this. So at least you know before you go in. So you started the process to fix it. You know.
Yeah, that's correct. Correct. So hopefully we can get this resolved within the next week. So I have to report on the 16th. So hopefully we get this resolved before my report date, and I can go ahead and get the wheels turning.
Yeah, on the 16th. I wonder if it's possible to even get it all done now. If you were to get that resolved this week, you could probably ask for an extension, a new court date. You may be able, you might be able to, not even go to the low if you can get. It's got to be it's got to be resolved. If your
Yes,
lawyer
sir.
gets, maybe if you make some calls to wherever the case is and ask them to close it, or have they closed it, or you know what I mean. Get on that phone, see what you can do. You may have time to not even to stop yourself from going to the low.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a close call, but it could be done.
Fingers are crossed. Hopefully we can get in there.
Yeah. So what low do they have you going to?
I'm going to Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Yazoo.
Yeah,
That's a funny name. Yeah. Have you
yeah.
done any research on that facility? Is there?
To the best I can with Google, and there's not a lot of information out there.
Yeah. Did you go to the Bureau of Prisons website though and read about it?
Yes, I did.
Is there a camp next to it?
They have a camp next to it. They have the low and they have a medium.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if there's RDAP at that camp or that low, but maybe they'll just move you next door to the camp and you do RDAP there.
Yeah, I was hopefully wishing to get moved closer to my home, because that is a good 5-hour trip for my family to come visit. But things are beyond my control.
Yeah, when you have RDAP, you don't always have that option. If you don't request anything, they're supposed to keep you within 500 miles. Now, 500 miles is quite a trip, anyways. So it's not that close. 500 miles could be a couple states away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on where you live, especially live on the East Coast. Yeah. So I mean, what's going through your mind right now, though? I mean, when you got sent, I was on pretrial like 4 years, so I know what you went through. When you got sentenced, were you relieved?
No, not really.
No.
A lot of anxiety started building, because I was hoping for probation. I was hoping for
Right.
my lawyer is the only person that told me that you're going to jail. Or you're going to prison. Everyone else I talked to says, "Man, you've reformed your life. You actually work for the treatment place as assistant counselor now that you went, for drug treatment. You're bettering yourself. You're helping the population around here. You're doing for the addicts around here. There's no way they'll send you off to prison."
That's right. You work for the treatment program. Yeah, because I'm in recovery too, and I actually worked for a treatment program as the cook when I got out. But if you had state charges only, you wouldn't do any time. They would say, keep
Right.
your job. You're doing great. That's just what we want to see. Unfortunately, with the feds, they're all, well, we still got to punish you.
Yep.
It's yeah. I know you got 51 months, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. 51 months. So hopefully we can half in the halfway house, sober living. Hopefully I'll be able to get out within 2 years, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's really.
So did you go to school to get your your license for a counselor? Was it 1,000 hours training and all that stuff?
No, I'm not a licensed counselor. I'm an assistant counselor. I did go and do the certified recovery support specialist training.
Okay.
And all that. I do have that certification.
Okay. And are they going to let you work for them when you get out of prison? Do you know? They're going to.
Yes, sir. They told me that my job will be there when I get back.
Well, good, because I mean, the kind of clients that you get, actually, when you get out of prison, you may be able to help more people than you know, because now
Right,
you got the prison experience behind you. There ain't no bullshit. Nobody can run past you now. You've heard it
right.
all, and you've lived it all. So because
That's correct. God's
I
got
know
a will.
what's that?
God's got a will for this life, and that may be part of it. You know.
See, God, you know what I mean? There's always a reason. If you're turning your life around and you're trying to be better, there's a reason, man. I feel there's a reason we got to go through these trials and tribulations. And it's just part of life and living and growing and learning. And if you apply it all that way, if you look at it in a positive way, and I know it's not what we want. They say the best way to make God laugh is you tell him your plans. You know.
That's right. So now that it's try to do things God's way now. If God wants me to go to prison, well, I guess I have to accept that and try to make the best out of an unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Now, even in a low, you're going to be safe. The politics aren't there. There's no gangs. There's those child molesters, and there's some fences. And they keep to them. You stay on their side. You're going to get through that, and you're going to be going into campus before you know it. I know this will get resolved, and you'll be at the camp. But at a low, you're safe too. I mean, do you ever watch RDAP Dan videos?
I do. I do watch some of his videos.
Yeah, so he went through a low, Coleman low, and he had no problems, no fights, no gangs, no, you know what I mean? So you're in a safe place. It's the other two, the mediums and the penitentiaries, those are the scary places.
Yeah.
You're going to be in there with, white collar guys, nonviolent drug dealers, all, just nonviolent people for the most part. You know what I mean? You'll be safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of anxiety about going. How unfortunately I still have my wife, and she still supports me, and I still have my children. Two at home and three grown, but they all support me. I know that when I get back from this stint, that they will still be here for me. And very very fortunate that way.
Do you remember what your guidelines were before you got sentenced? What offense level you had?
I do not remember. I know that I got some time added to the sentencing because I was what they call it in a position of trust as a paramedic.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they did add some time on because of that.
Sure, sure, sure. Your my guidelines were 51 to 77, and I got 52 months. So you might have been in there. Uh, Originally they were more on. I had a category 4, but the judge moved me to category 1 because of all the good things I did on pretrial. And
Yeah.
that's the best a judge could do. But was this your first time offense?
First offense, yes, sir. Did go with the low end, but then they had to add, a certain number of points because of the level of trust I had
Yeah,
in medic.
I had
Uh,
24 points. It's probably what you had. That's 51 to 77. But they take a few off when you do acceptance of responsibility. When you
all right.
make you did that with the plea deal and all that. So you're probably looking at
Yeah.
more before you did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then a couple of years go by, and like all your friends and family think you're going to get probation, and you start to believe it too. Or at least one half the week you believe it. The other half you're worried you're going to go do 10 years. It's a living hell, man. It's a
Right.
living hell.
Right. So,
Now you can
no,
see. Okay, I don't know if you can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, but now you can see the tunnel, and
yeah, that's right.
there is light at that end of the tunnel. And when you get to your location, the next day when you wake up, I'm going to tell you from experience, that's when you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You
Yeah.
know you're on your way out now. The hard part's over. The prison sentence is the easy part. I mean, it's stressful and your family's away, and I get all that, but it's the easy part up here. You
Yeah.
know?
The anxiety leading up.
Yeah, yeah. So, what kind of arrangements have you made to turn yourself in? You watched any of my videos on uh, preparing for self surrender day?
Uh, I've watched one of your videos. I think I'm preparing. I've just, just try to spend time with my family the best I can and try to enjoy each moment that I have with them while I'm still, out of prison, and getting copies of stuff together, my high school diploma, social security card, my COVID vaccination, get copies of all that stuff together, ready to take with me.
Yeah, that's good. When it comes to your social security card and your ID, they actually like you to bring the actual card.
Okay.
Because they might ask you to have somebody mail it into you, because it gets you out to a halfway house faster. These case managers they want all their ducks in order because they're the ones that are going to release you to the halfway house, and most of them they want to see the actual card. Um, did you look up your inmate registration number, your federal registration number on the BOP website yet?
I did. I already got it memorized. I looked it up, memorized it.
Okay, so you've given that to friends and family so they can write you a letter and put money on your books
Yep.
with that? Okay.
Yep.
How about Google Voice phone computer phone for a Google Voice number for your friends and family so you can save money when you call them?
I have not done that yet, but that is a good idea that I need to do that. Get a local number.
Yeah, because those phone calls can be expensive. They can be up to 80 cents a minute. But if your friends and family get local numbers through the Google Voice, it might only be 12 cents a minute when you call them. Saves a lot of money.
Yeah,
And
I'll do that.
And any prescriptions you got, you want to bring those with you. Yeah.
Bring the actual medication with you in the prescription bottle, or bring a copy of a prescription.
Copy or an empty bottle. They're not going to let you take. They're not going to let you take them. What's in the bottle inside, but all the prisons have their own pharmacy, and they'll give you at least their version of what you're taking. Some generic.
Okay.
They have generic versions. Yeah, and
Okay.
you said you got vaccinated already, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so bring proof of that. I just got good news from Otis. Called me up. He's a guy I did an interview with last week. He's turning himself in on the 21st. He called the prison. He is going to where's he going to? Coleman Low, and they told him that he has to do 12 days quarantine, but it's not in the shoe. The prison the correctional officer told him nobody's going to the shoe anymore. It's just a quarantine range. It's where you're going to live, and they'll put you in a special range. You'll have TV privileges. You'll be able to get your mail, but you can't go to the chow hall until you've tested twice for negative. But you're not going to be in a shoe anymore. So all the prisons have changed that. So you don't have to go to the shoe for 2 weeks. So
now, is that even with a vaccination? You still have to quarantine like that?
he says you have to be there until you get vaccinated. Since you've already got it, you only have to do the 12 days and then they're out. Other guys that haven't been vaccinated, they got to wait till they get their shot. If they refuse to get the shot, they're going to stay in that quarantine range the whole time. That means they don't get to go outside and play or go to classes or go to work or anything. They're going to be stuck there. So anybody that doesn't want to get that shot, the feds aren't going. That's their rule until further notice. But you've already got the shot, so you're good to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've got to be going on now, Sean. Thank you for having me on.
All right. I appreciate it, Michael. I appreciate it, Mike. Any message you have to the viewers out there?
Just watch Sean on YouTube and try to, relieve some of the anxieties before you go. It's that, like you said, Sean, the anxiety, the time in your head before you go is probably worse than any time you'll do inside the prison.
Okay. All right, Michael. God bless you, Michael. My prayers are going to be with you. Keep me updated before you give me a call, a day or two before you go in next week. And thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.